Hello, welcome to 30-Minute Mindfulness. Today, I thought we would talk about how to turn off our brain when it won't turn off. Just tips for relaxing. So very often I hear people express how they just can't meditate. They can't turn off their mind. Even when I sit down to watch TV, I can't relax. I'm always thinking about what I have to go, my grocery list. I'm making my grocery list in my mind, or I'm thinking about what I have to do, what needs to be done around the house. So how do I relax? So we have this thing in our body called homeostasis. And it's our body's center point. It's our baseline, if you will. It's our body's normal operating procedure. So it's that comfort zone we have. Our body will do everything that it possibly can to get us back into that comfort zone, to get us back into that homeostasis. So if we're hungry, our tummy's going to growl, and then we're going to eat some food, and then that's going to stop our hunger, and we've achieved homeostasis again. So we go back to normal. Everything is perfectly fine. Well, the same goes for our psychological baseline. If our normal operating procedure is to ruminate over thoughts about what's going to happen or what's to come or what I have to do or whatever, jumping into a meditation or trying to relax with your family is going to feel uncomfortable because you're stopping these normal thoughts, this normal unfolding of thoughts. That's your normal operating procedure in your mind. So when that happens, the body signals to the mind, hey, we got to start thinking thoughts. So we create that same neurological chemical firing in our brains to achieve homeostasis again. That creates this feeling of normalcy, which is comfortable because it's predictable, not because it's good for us, because it's predictable. So if your comfort zone is thinking, your body is comfortable when it's in a state of thinking. When that state is achieved, that would be homeostasis. So Joe Dispenza, one of my authors that I like a lot, he says, the hardest thing we'll do today is think different than we did yesterday. So that's what he's talking about. It's uncomfortable to think in different ways, just like it's uncomfortable to go to the gym after a 6-month break. If we decide to go on a diet or decide to go low carb, the cravings will kick in and we're going to start thinking about pasta and bread and French fries and whatever. So it's hard to do it different, whether it's eating, whether it's behaving, or whether it's thinking. It's going to feel uncomfortable for a while, and that's the hard part. In time, we change our baseline. We move our normal to a new normal, and that homeostasis will evolve. If you practice peace, you will achieve peace. But it takes time. You have to walk through that discomfort of that rewiring phase. So not being able to relax, it lives on the same spectrum as anxiety. It could also be described as nervousness or nervous energy. We're all wired different. So there are some people who have a higher energy disposition. They might need movement more than most. And the difference would be that this high energy disposition would feed the person's, they would be fed by their activity. It's part of what makes them tick. Whereas someone who can't relax, someone living with this nervous energy would feel like they can't do enough, or I can't do it fast enough, or there's always more to be done. It's always a chase. There's an underlying drive of dissatisfaction or striving to be good enough, to do enough, or to be productive enough. Do you see the difference there? So this nervous energy can be a way of avoiding what is present or distracting us away from feeling whatever is arising. We can move on to the next thing so quickly because that slowing down in between would be enough for feelings and thoughts to arise. So if we're moving quickly, we push right past it. We never give our bodies the opportunity to see what's underneath. So when we seek to unravel these sticky points in our psyche, we always need to go to the places that feel tender. And, that's not what we want to do, but that's what we have to do. So if you feel a sense, I gotta go, I gotta move to the next thing, and you start planning your escape, my suggestion is to try to pause. In that moment, when you can, try to pause, knowing that that pause is going to be uncomfortable. But in that pause, ask yourself, how does this anxiety or nervousness serve me? How does it serve me to keep going, 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 going? If I slow down, what is it that I'm afraid to feel? What am I trying to protect myself from seeing, understanding, or feeling? So these questions are ways to unravel that unconscious push and pull from down here. And then we just start to see, when we bring something into awareness, it just simply shines a light, and then we go, oh, look at that. It's that again. And it just makes it easier to shift our thinking, to make changes in our life. So when we think about questions that could deepen our understanding of why we feel anxious or why we feel restless or why we're not feeling relaxed, do I feel like relaxing will make me lose my edge? Will I lose control over my life or fall behind at my job in some way? What does it mean if I don't finish my to-do list? What does it mean if I don't get it right? What does it mean if I fall short? And what does it say about me if any of those things are true? If I don't do my to-do list, if I don't get it right, if I fall short, what does it mean about me? So oftentimes in our unconscious mind, there's a belief or a thought or a story, and we're hiding from that. So our sense of anxiety or our nervousness is oftentimes a reflection of this disharmony in our psyche. Something we're not paying attention to in our lives. Something we're not allowing a voice. We're not allowing to speak. We're pushing down. So just 5 things you can do during normal life that can help you see through this zip, 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 or this inability to relax. Journal. Really effective to jump into that journal and ask yourself some of those questions that I mentioned earlier. Keep showing up for mindfulness. Even if it's 5 minutes a day, do your best to show up without judging. Just be mindful for whatever amount of time you can every day. Mindful breathing can be helpful. Just no matter what you're doing, you can be in the middle of anything, but you just inhale and count to 4, hold it for 4 seconds, and then exhale for 6 seconds. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, and then release for 6 seconds. And you can count as you do it because that keeps you, it's a way to keep you in the present moment. And the other, number 4 is you can use your senses. Use your eyes, look around, see what you see. Use your ears, see what you hear. Be specific. Look for details. Look for things that you normally don't see. Super subtle sounds or details in the curtains or the palm tree or the way the wind is blowing the flower or something like that. The purpose is to bring your mind to the present moment. So you can use your eyes, your hearing, your taste. If you have a cup of coffee, you can, what does this taste like? What's the hotness feel like? As it goes down your throat. Get really present with that moment. And you can use your feeling, not so much feeling here, but when we're doing this exercise, we would be, what's the temperature like? What does my body feel like? Do I feel my bum on the seat of this chair? Do I feel any sensations in my skin? Do my clothes feel itchy? Are they comfortable? Those kind of things. And then smell. Are there any present smells? Are they faint or are they strong? Is somebody making food? So you can appreciate, if you're outside, you can appreciate the sense of the flowers or the trees. And then the 5th thing is mindful movement. We can bring presence to our tasks. So like if you're washing the dishes, bring presence. What does this water feel like? What does the soap on my hands feel like? The water's hot. This dish feels slippery. Things like that. Just bring your presence there. It's what's happening right now. If you're vacuuming, bring your presence to the sound of the vacuum. Bring your presence to what the carpet looks like as you go over the carpet with the vacuum, or maybe the floor. You see that the dog hair is being picked up, or that would be the case in my house. But anyway, you see the dirt being sucked up by the vacuum. Just get present with what you see, the details. So that's how you can use senses to bring more awareness to the present moment. And we remember that anxiety and nervousness, stress, they all don't live in the present moment. They live in the future or the past. So if we plant seeds of peace, we will grow a peaceful sense. We will. It just takes time, and we have to get through that homeostasis. We have to get through that uncomfortable feeling of rewiring the way our normal operating procedure works, firing thoughts. Okay, with that, I invite you to sit and close your eyes, and we'll practice for about 20 minutes. So close your eyes and find a posture that's comfortable, something that's upright, that's alert but not rigid. And take a couple deep breaths just to let go of any thoughts or to-do lists, or just to bring you present. And now you can bring awareness to that anchor, to that breath, just as it goes in and out. We don't need to breathe any special way or any certain way. Our unconscious mind knows how to do that much better than any conscious awareness could. So we just let the breath flow natural. And we just follow it in and out. When we practice mindfulness, we're not trying to stop our mind from thinking. And it's the same in life. We're not trying to stop our brain from thinking. That's what minds do, they think. But we are trying to gain awareness of what thoughts arise and the feelings and emotions that they bring with them as they arise. And we just do it in a non-judgmental, just a curious, oh, look at that. Anxiety, anxiety. Here it is again. Huh. Or maybe it's fear, or maybe it's sadness. Whatever it is, it's just a curious, oh, look at that. And then when we have that awareness, we just put that thought on a leaf and let it float down the river of our mind, and we're back to our breath, back to the present moment, that in and out. And every time a thought arises, that's just a practice of mindfulness. And we come back to our breath. There's no right amount of thoughts, or there's no bad meditation. We're simply showing up, and we're creating awareness. As we watch our thoughts. If this stillness, or any stillness, brings a sense of anxiety, like you gotta get to the next thing, you don't have time, you gotta do what's next, sitting still seems like a waste of time. Just allow that. Wow, look at that. Maybe call it hurry. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Can you be with that? Can you let that need to hurry just unfold? Just watch it. You don't have to jump into it or buy into the hurry. Just look at that. What would I be without that constant drive, that go, 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 or do, do, do? What would I be without that? What does my busyness or my go, go, go stop me from or protect me from seeing, feeling, or knowing? What does my busyness stop me from seeing, feeling, or knowing? What am I afraid of? What am I afraid of seeing or feeling or knowing when I slow down? What will I see? Maybe it's personal failure. Maybe you're afraid to see this feeling of unworthiness. Maybe it's a sense that I'm not enough, or that I can't do it all. Whatever it is, can I be with that? When we sit with that fear or that anxiety or those emotions that we're afraid to look at, what we're doing is we're allowing. We're looking in to those parts of us that we push away, and we're allowing it to be what it is. So in a sense, it's a release. And when we allow it, it's tender. We walk toward that edge, and we hold that tender stuff, and we notice it, and we see it for what it is. And then we wrap yourself now in that blanket of warm embrace. We nurture what it is to be human. All of this deeper understanding, this self-awareness, this diving in takes courage. And we're sitting with our humanity. We're not pushing it away. We're not trying to make it different. We're sitting with how courageous, how cool. Good for you. So I'll ring the bell in just a couple minutes. let's just sit with that blanket of kind intention, that blanket of nurturing wrapped around our shoulders as you hold yourself in that embrace of just being human, being here and being real and being human. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thanks so much for being here. If you found any of these techniques helpful or useful, I'd love to hear about it. And I'm always up for comments and feedback. Thanks so much. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.